Hey guys, and welcome back to another Unreal 4 tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to go from Mixamo to Unreal. So in this one, we're going to be getting a character from Mixamo and animating it on Mixamo as well, and importing these into Unreal. Now I already have a video where I'm creating an animation blueprint from Mixamo to Unreal as well. So I've taken a character from here, put it into Unreal, and animated it, and I'm going to be getting the same character and animations in this video. So I'll leave a link in the description below to that video where I animated it, and in that I used the SWAT character, so I'm going to be doing the same here, getting the same character and animations. So if you don't know what Mixamo is, it's a great website made by Adobe where you can get a load of free characters and animations which you can use in your games, completely free and copyright free as well. So I'll also leave a link in the description down below to the Mixamo website. So once you've loaded it up, you'll need an Adobe account. If you don't have one already, it is free to create. And once you've logged in, you'll be greeted with this page, or if not, just select characters up here, and you can see we have all these different characters to choose from, and there's 3 pages of these as well. I just want the SWAT character, so I'm going to search for SWAT there, and you can see we have these. I just want the normal SWAT on the far right here, so I've got this character which will load in a second, and it automatically creates a skeleton for this character as well. So you can see you can also upload your own character, which is just an FBX file, and it will create a skeleton. And now we have this SWAT character here already rigged, and we just need to animate it. So this is perfect, so let's download this. So we hit this orange download button here. We want the format to be FBX, so obviously if you're using Unity it will be FBX for Unity, but this is specifically for Unreal, so we want FBX binary.fbx. The pose we want to have as T-pose, and we're going to download it. And that is now the character downloaded. Now let's also download the animations before putting this into Unreal. I'm just going to put this into a folder, so let me just create one here, and I'm just going to leave the name as SWAT there. It should be an FBX file. And now we have that downloaded there. I'm just going to close that. So now we want to find some animations for this character. So to do that, I'm going to click on the animations tab at the top and remove SWAT from my search. Now you see that these animations have different characters on them already, but we don't need to find one with our character on. We can use any animation on here, because like I say, it's created a skeleton for us already. So the animations I'm going to get are walking, running, idle, and jumping. So let's get idle first. So I'm going to search for idle here, and now you can see we have many different idle animations that we can choose from. So I'm going to just scroll down until I find one which I like, and I'm going to pick this one here because I believe this is the one that I use in the animation blueprint video. So now we have this idle animation here, and you can see what it looks like. You can also change the overdrive, so how quick or how fast, how intense it is, so you can increase or decrease it. I'm going to keep it as normal, and you can increase or decrease the character arm space as well, which does what it sounds like it does. So you can see like that. Again, I'm going to leave it as default, and you can also trim it to make the animation longer or shorter, and even mirror it to make it mirrored. I'm going to leave it all as default. I'm going to hit download again, leaving the format as FBX binary.fbx. The skin I'm going to have as without skin, as we don't need the skin on the animations, and it just makes the file size larger. We don't need it. Frames per second I'm going to leave as 30, and keyframe reduction I'm going to leave as none, and then we can download that. So now we have our character and our idle animation downloaded. Again, save that there. So now I want to get a walking animation. So I'm going to search walking up here. And I believe the one that I used was called Swagger Walk. So let me try and find that, or even just search for it. So again, I'm trying to find the same ones which I used in the other video, and here we have Swagger Walk. You'll see this is moving forwards. In Unreal, we don't want this to happen, because that means it will play this animation while the character is also moving, so it will be rubber banding, going back and forth, glitching out, and it will look really bad. So the way to fix that is tick in place. So now the character is going to move in place, which is perfect for how we want it, so we can code the animation blueprint properly. And again, you can change all these settings as well, but make sure you have in place ticked. We're going to hit download, and the settings should have saved, so we can hit download again, saving it how and where we want it. So I'm going to hit save again, like so. So now I also want to get a running animation. So again, I'm going to search for running, and we have all these options once again. There's so many to choose from, which is why it's a great website for free animations and characters, especially if you're just a beginner getting into all of this. So let's choose a running animation. I think this one here is going to be good. Again, we want to tick in place, and now we have this running animation here. You might want a different one, for example this one. Again, ticking in place. Choose whichever one you want to have. I think I'll go for this one instead, since it's kind of in the middle of those two. So I think that's good. Again, I'm going to leave the settings as default, download, leaving the download settings as what they were before, and download that like so. So now we have idle, walk, and run. I also want to get jump. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to search for jump, but I don't want a jump like this. So let me show you one. This one here is going to jump like that. That's a whole jump animation. I don't really want that. I want one for jumping up, jumping down, and jumping in the air, so idle jumping. As that way it just makes the coding in our animation blueprint a lot easier, a lot smoother, and a lot more fluid. So I'm going to have one called jumping up, I believe is what the one I used was called. This one here, jumping up. You see that looks really bad, but obviously we're only going to see this once, and it's literally just going to be to go up. And when we make the animation blueprint, which again I've already done, this looks a lot better. So I'm going to download this one, jumping up like so. And I also want one for jumping down. So I'll search jumping down like so. Let's see if I can find the one I used. It looks similar to this, so it's this one here. Jumping down, so that's when we are landing. And I'm going to download that. And then I also want one for jumping idle, so while we're in the air, so we're falling. Because that way we can loop it and make it look a lot nicer, instead of just having a rough animation which doesn't look too good. So that one was called falling idle for me. This could just be falling or jumping, anything like that. And I believe I used this animation here. So like I say, we're just falling. Which again, if we're falling a long way, we're going to play the correct animation. So I'm going to download that like so. And they're the basic animations you want. So we've got idle, walk, run, and jump. I'm also going to get another jump one for jumping forwards. So if we're walking forwards and we jump, we play a different animation. You don't need that if you don't want, but I used it in the other video, so I'm going to get it here as well, just to show you. So that one was called jump forward. And obviously you can get forward, backwards, left, right, anything like that. But mine was jump forward, which I believe was this one here. So this one has a rifle, which obviously you might not want, but there you go. And I'm going to tick in place again. So now if we're walking forwards, we're going to jump like that. So I'm going to hit download, and download with these settings again. And so now we've downloaded all of the correct characters and animations which we want. So you also want to make sure that when you get the animations, that they are targeted to the character that we chose at the start, because the skeleton is on them. But like I say, we now have our character and animations from Mixamo. Now we need to get them in Unreal. So let's open up Unreal. So that's here. So this is also very simple. What I'm going to do is open up my folders where I have them saved. So that's here. And the one we want to import first is our character. Make sure you import this first, as we need the skeleton from it. So drag and drop in SWAT, or whatever your character is named, and leave this all the same. So import the skeletal mesh, import the mesh. The skeleton won't be anything at the moment, as that's what we're currently importing. And we don't want to tick import animations. And then just press import all. And now we should have our character importing like so. And as you can see, we've imported it. If you get these errors, don't worry, that's just because the Mixamo characters aren't smoothed, but that won't actually be an issue for us. So you can see, we have all these materials, textures, SWAT skeletal mesh, physics asset, and a skeleton. So I'm going to right click, get a new folder, calling it mats, and I'm going to put in all of the materials and textures inside that folder, just to keep it a bit more organized and looking nice. I'm going to select all of those and move them there. Now if we open up our skeletal mesh, we can see what this looks like, or if we drag it into the game. So now we can see we have our SWAT character in here looking perfect like so. So now let's also import the animations onto this as well. So I'm going to import all of these at once, so let me show you what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to select all of them like so. So these are my animations. I'm going to drag and drop them in like that. Get rid of this folder. And you can see they're already put on the skeleton. If they're not for you, just select this skeleton which you have, which for me is SWAT skeleton. So the skeleton which is for your character. Then make sure that the animation length is exported time, so it's the correct animation length for it, and everything else can be left as default. And then let's hit import all, and now all of these animations are going to be imported into the game as well. So it's very simple to do. And now we have animations in here, and again I'm going to put these in their own folder just to keep it organized. Let's put those there, and I already have the character dragged in. So like I say, I dragged in the skeletal mesh on here, so we can then put an animation on here to test it out. So I use animation asset. I'm going to select the animation I want. So I want it to be swagger walk. And if we simulate this, you can see that this character is now walking. And if we change this again to be maybe running, you can see that they're now running. Or if we change it to idle, they're going to be idle. So this is working for us. So we've got in our character and the animations for the character as well. And like I say, I've already set up the animation blueprint, so I did that in this project as well. So here we have our SWAT and MVP here, in which we can then play as that character. So this is what we have. We made something which looks a little like this. If I actually hit play, we should be able to play as that character as well. So now we have the character walking around in game. So we have idle, walk, run, jump, and our normal jump like this. So that's what we've made. Again, that's in the description down below. But I think that'll be it for this video. As we've done everything we want to do. We've imported our character and animations from Mixamo to Unreal, and this works perfectly. And again, it's very easy to set up so the character can play as them. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe down below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.